watch the football game.
Awesome.
Great to see you, dude. I'm glad you're having a nice, healthy month here. Let me and everybody else know in the next one. We want to know, your CT scan or whatever the hell it was for your heart.
Oh, I will definitely tell you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And
Awesome.
I just had my heart checked out. I'm looking pretty good to go, and I got a physical coming up. So I'm doing all the right shit here. I've had too many friends have issues. So
that's all I kept saying was I don't like that shit. I don't like going in for this. Like, do it, and then you're not having a heart attack within the next 2 years, 3 years until you get your next
if
one.
they find something, they can just go in and take care of it.
Yeah, take care of it
before it's like a problem.
Yeah.
What happened to us, Bert? We used to just talk about where we doing spots and where we drinking afterwards. Now we're talking about, it's good to get your heart scanned.
It's staring right at me, Bill. It's right here.
Oh, hold it up again. I want to see it again.
Buffalo Trace.
What is that?
Oh, it's a fucking fine whiskey.
That's another thing I miss about, like, fucking whiskeys and bourbons. Just the bottles and the labels alone.
I was just thinking that.
They're works of art.
You could sell so much more water if you sold it in old whiskey bottles. I'd drink so much more water if I could put it down in a handle of Jack Daniels.
I know, dude. They always, like, for the photo shoot of the bourbon whiskey, they always backlight it, and you just, like, yeah. To this day, dude, if I could say anything, if I did anything, it would be bourbon. I really got into that shit. All right, dude, you're making me thirsty
yeah.
here.
No, yeah.
Okay, buddy. Well, have
Awesome.
one for me. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been another wonderful episode of the Bill
Bert
Podcast. All right, love you, brother. I'll see you on the next one.
All right, buddy.
What's up, DHDH? How you doing, buddy?
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Guillaume. Sorry. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another wonderful C'est très bien episode of the Bill
Bert
Podcast. What's going on?
January 24th, National. That's when we're going to hold our Winston Churchill Day. I already cleared with my wife. My girls are into it.
What
me
day
up
is
with
it?
some January 24th.
All right, I'm in.
Cigar. I'm going to do a soft whiskey. I've been on the wagon this whole month, Bill.
Dude, you look great, man.
Oh,
Your
thanks.
face is just going like that. Speaking of that, do you see Action Bronson lost like 140 pounds? Dude, he's a good-looking dude, man.
He's a really good-looking dude. He looks
He's
awesome.
gonna be like a leading man out of this.
I love that he's found this like side of him that's super into weightlifting. Like, he looks great.
Yeah, I did a scene with him in the Pete Davidson movie. What the hell's it called there?
Oh,
Biggest Staten
yeah,
Island.
that's right.
Yeah, and yeah, he was a big boy, and I remember him saying like basically, "Yo, when I'm up, I'm up. When I sit back down, I'm down." I mean, like he was like dealing with his body, and just having friends that had weight issues who are no longer here, man. I was worried about him. I'm so fucking happy for that guy. So happy for that guy. He was funny. He was funny as hell. Very, very happy.
He's I found that guy one break. We were on break with the girls down in Tampa, and I saw Fuck That's Delicious, and I fell in love with it. And by the way, I was a fan of his as a rapper. His first album, I literally, it's the first album that comes up, and whenever you look at any album in my library, it's Action Bronson. That's so smart that his name's A. It's the #1. If I could start this business over again, I call myself A.A. Chrysler. Dr. Lecter came out in 2011, and I saw Fuck That's Delicious, and I fell in love with that guy. And you wonder, like, you look at guys like that as canaries in mines, where you go, he's doing dabs nonstop. He's out eating like crazy. Like, as long as he's still alive, I don't need to go to the doctor. And then when you see him do a shift and get healthy, you're like, okay, I need to get healthy. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, I watched one episode, which was really interesting to me because just the level that they can eat was astounding. And this famous chef, who's now been canceled, who may or may not have an orange beard like me, he was on it. And it was like he drank them under the table. He's like, come on, let's get desserts now. We can't do it. He goes, come on, you fucking pussies. Now it's just like, this is like an old sailor, like drinking somebody under the table or some pothead smoking you under the table. He like ate them under the, like they were having problems keeping up with them, which I thought was, that surprised me because as big as Mario is, he wasn't as big as those dudes, and he was just putting it away.
Yeah. He used to live, so when I worked the door of the Boston Comedy Club, I lived on 29 Cornelia Street. O was his restaurant, and it was directly underneath our apartment. So every night when we walked home, we walked past Mario Batalia's restaurant, O. And if they were up, if it was like, 3 in the morning when we were coming home, if they were up, they always let us in to drink, me and my two roommates. And I was unaware. I wasn't a fan of the Food Network. My later roommate was, and his brother's a chef, and he knew exactly who he was. But I didn't really know. I just knew he was a cool dude that let us in to drinks because we lived above him, and he'd let us in every fucking time they were up.
I used to eat at Lupa.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and then I went to that other one like Babo, and that was just like, it was too adventurous. That was what we were like joking. They had like pheasant face ragu, just like. It was just like some wild part of an animal you wouldn't eat, and mixed with the name that you understood. And you were just like, it was too much. But I used to get the Nick DiPaolone, go to Lupa and get the oxtail. I had that. It was delicious. So.
There's something cool about being a chef. That lifestyle of, working all night and then making something really cool, like a chef's meal for all the chefs meet up and they have cocktails and they talk about their night and they make something for each other. I guess people probably look at comedy and they're like, everyone's sitting at the back of the cellar and they're busting balls, and doing spots and drinking beers and eating chicken wings. I'm sure they think it's like that. There's something super romantic about being a chef.
Yeah, / like total self-sabotage, like. Dude, the characters that were in that place, man, it was just like, it really, they were all like comedians in that they couldn't function in a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
There had to be a level of creativity to it, a level of freedom, and a level of chaos. And that's kind of what was going on. Not necessarily with the wait, it was more like the waiters. It was like really the people that cooked were a little, like they could party. They could like come up with specials and all of that type of stuff. There was one guy who was on like a work release program from prison. I know I've told these stories before, but at the end of the night, when everyone was cleaning up, and guys had already had a buzz going by like the final 2 hours, they were already taking whatever they were going to take, and then it just ramped up, and they would, I couldn't keep up with them. I really couldn't. I kind of was just the dork, man. I just came in, did my job. Like, hey man, you gotta come to this party. I'd be like, nah, I'm fine. And then I would just go home. I was like 19. And I'd come in and some guy would have like a scar on, on his head, drinking and driving and shit. It was the 80s, man. They were a lot of coke.
Yeah.
And hash and crazy shit.
My buddy Weicho, when I lived in New York, worked at a restaurant on the 21st Street. It's called the Commune. It was called the Commune, I think. And he spoke Spanish. He was from Peru, so he spoke Spanish. And man, if you want a fucking inn at a restaurant in New York, if you're a waiter and you speak Spanish, you got that's like the easiest way to get your meals out first, to get your tables bussed first, to get that. It was like the bartenders would load him up. He'd go in and he'd get to work. He'd have a cocktail when he got to work, and he'd just start serving tables and go back in the back, talk shit to the guys in the back, and they'd be like, "Hey, Lucho, ven acá por favor." He's like, "Hey, man, maricón, and then that Spanish was such a quick in working at restaurants for him, and he would make a fucking killing. And then I'd go after sets, I'd go up there and party with him and hang out. with it, all the people he partied with.
I love how the level that comics were partying at wasn't enough for you. You went to the pro level. Dude, if you can drink with, like, chefs and shit, like, those guys, like, I'm trying to think of a chef that I respect that didn't have some sort of substance abuse.
Bobby Flay.
Oh, Bobby did.
Bobby Flay, for whatever reason, he is one of the more I'm sure you talk to one of his ex-wives, they'd be like, I don't know about that, Bert. But, like, Bobby's one of the more well-rounded dudes that, like, he could have a cocktail with you, talk shit, laugh, be like, I'm going to my room to take care of it, and then be in the gym first thing in the morning. I mean,
yeah. Like the smart comics.
Yeah.
Like whenever I watched the great comedians in cars with Seinfeld and Gary Shandling, and they were just talking about how not only did they not get into the whole demons and partying at the store, how silly and ridiculous they thought it was. It's like, this is a job. We're trying to get somewhere. And it's just like, stepping over puddles of puke and stuff, and they would just go on and do their stuff and go home like professionals. I think Leno was like that too. Because I had a buddy of mine came up after him, and Leno warned him about the partying scene. He didn't listen for a while, and then he came around. And I guess Jay would tell him, come on, we're playing Risk. Like, let's play like a board game. Keep your brain together. We'll talk comedy. We'll work on stuff like the smart guy.
Yeah.
The smart guy way to do it. And then everybody else was just like, not everybody,
it's almost like
building the legend.
It's almost like getting the birthday cake and swiping off the icing. Like, it's too much. Like, part of me, like, I remember talking to Jay about it, and Jay goes, because I remember sitting at the store, and they pulled out like an ounce of Coke and put it on the table, and I thought, guys, we could get arrested for this. I remember hearing that going, and he goes, so I just left. I went home. I didn't want to get arrested. And by the way, that makes so much sense. I mean, that is the way you should think.
Absolutely. Dude, that was like Michael Jordan when he talked about that first Bulls team that he was on.
Yeah.
When he was a rookie, it was like 5 games in, and they invited him up. Oh, they all heard all this talk, and he said, I walked in, he goes, there was weed, there was lines over here, there was women, and my first thought was, if a cop walks in right now, I am just as guilty as everybody else. And I remember thinking, like, wow, man, he had that thought at 21. His parents did an unbelievable job raising him, because I would have been like, all right, I'm not going to blow a weed, but I can drink here. Hello, ladies. And I would have stayed because I would want to be accepted by everybody else. I bet they respected him more, but he was just like, man, I'm not getting involved in this shit. And the next night he's out there dunking on all these old vets. And they were just like, oh shit, this guy's the real deal.
I remember doing coke with a guy, a comic, who's now a movie star, and I would never say his name. And I learned that the hard way. You do not share partying stories.
No, dude, you keep it all in the locker room.
I owe a big apology to Tracy Morgan. I should have never shared any I should have kept everything in the locker room, and I didn't. So I'll never make that mistake again. And it also
makes you look like you're not in the business.
You know what?
It makes you look like a fan.
In all fairness, I have to say I wasn't the one that shared the story, but it got out, and it's my fault, and I owe him an apology whenever I run into him. I owe him a sincere apology and a cocktail. But I remember doing coke with a movie star in my apartment one time, and I remember thinking, I was watching him do coke, and he was fucking blowing lines, just couldn't stop talking, and I was like, this guy's got a problem. We'll never see anything from this guy. And then all of a sudden, he's just boom. And there are certain people who can party hard as fuck, keep it in between the lines, go to sleep, get up, bang it out. I just watched a documentary on Macho Camacho. Macho Camacho, like the night before his big fight in Alaska, he was trying to climb out of a window and jump out of a window. He had done so much coke, and they were like, he's never going to be able to do this fight. And he went down and destroyed the guy. And they're like, for whatever reason, man, that guy came into work, and he was there to work. You had no idea.
I can tell you this, he would have been better if he didn't do it. Just imagine how great he could have been. Because that stuff,
you think?
Yes, because you can do that shit for a while, I remember hearing a great story. Not going to say the comic's name, but he was doing shit like that. And then he had a big theater show, and he looked at this guy telling me the story is now an older guy. He was a kid when it happened. And right before he went on stage, he lowered his glasses and he just goes, "The transformation." Like he was going to be, now I'm just going to, Zen sober myself. And I was like, "Yeah, did you go out there and kill?" He goes, "No, it's horrible." So listen, there's those guys that nothing can touch. It happens for a while, but it's like cheetahs. When cheetahs are a light cat, so I've noticed when they go to take down, it takes a bunch of them. And the fucking gazelle or whatever can run. Wow, it just gets you when you go down. And I remember seeing this whole thing on that dude in Rat who died. And he was just a mountain of a man. Like if anybody came at Rat, like he just stood in front of him. It was just a giant shadow. And he was just like, he's like Big John in that song. He could just take anybody out. And partying got to that guy to the point he had to re-audition for the band and couldn't even play the songs. Couldn't play what he used to play. So there's definitely people that have more of an iron-lined liver for a while and can just do more for whatever reason. But like it's just body blows, dude. Every weekend. Eventually,
that's interesting. That's interesting you say that. That's interesting you say that because I just got all my blood work back from the doctor, and everything's perfect. And I thought to myself, every time I've ever gotten blood work back and it's been good, I say to myself, all right, we're good. And then I just go back to my same lifestyle. And for whatever reason, this time, I guess I was scared. I was like, man, I pushed it really hard through COVID. I mean, I was 17 pounds heavier than I am today when I just was like, this is going to turn out bad. I'm going to get a CT scan. There's going to be blockages. I've been eating barbecue all summer with Dave Williams. They did an EKG. I'm like, I have not been sleeping well, and I've been running. This is not going to be good. They did all the blood work, and I'm like, my cholesterol's going to be up. My liver enzyme's going to be through the roof, fatty liver. And it came back good. And I was like, and I thought of two people, you and David Tell. And I thought, both those guys got in right at the like they stepped out with chips stacked to here, and they were like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go home. And I keep pushing them forward, going like,
no. And eventually there's a tipping point because a buddy of mine had a friend like that where he had a really bad liver and he was in trouble, and he just laid off everything, and then it came back and he was fine. So he's like, oh, so that's what I'll do. I'll just party. When they tell me it's bad again, I'll lay off again. He did it again, and he laid off the booze, and it didn't come back, and he died.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out, dude. There is a finite amount of chances that you get. Everybody seems to get a different hand that they're dealt. Look at Len Bias. I mean, that guy, he was just a kid. I don't know when he started partying, but he didn't get a lot of chances. You're rolling the dice there. I don't want to bum out all the young people watching this shit.
I said to myself, I was like, I haven't been drinking this much, and I was like, and I don't miss it. Like when I'm at home like this, I don't miss it at all. And I was like, I gotta come up with like a program. Like I can't, like I don't want to lose booze forever. I got a $1,200 bottle of whiskey in there that's like burned. No. This guy, I wish I knew this guy's name. He sent me, I get things sent to my P.O. box, and he sent me, I want to say it's more than that. I want to say it's like a $2,500 bottle of whiskey. But he sent it to me with a bunch of these beers. I wish I knew this guy's name. I want to say it's Porter, or, man, and he sent it to me on my P.O. box.
That sounds like cognac prices.
I'm going to call my dad. My dad knows exactly how much it is. My dad's like, buddy, when's this drinking shit over? We gotta fucking open this bottle. I was like, Dad, let's get to it.
I love your dad's peer pressure. Come on, you pussy.
Oh, today he goes, you're not done smoking cigars, right? Because we got cigars to go through. You just got a whole fucking.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, he'll know exactly how much the whiskey is. Because I just got it in the P.O. box and assumed it was, whatever it is. And then, hey, Dad. Hey, I'm doing a podcast with Bill. Listen.
What's up, Mr. Kreischer?
Yeah, Bill.
How are you, Nice stash, brother. How are you?
I love the bank stuff. You didn't give me some bank stuff.
I'll get some bank stuff from him. He's a big
Go
fan,
ahead.
Bill.
What's your
Hey,
question?
how much is that bottle of whiskey we got sent?
Oh, that was 25-year-old Macallan. That's a couple grand.
25-year-old Macallan. Okay. All right. Well, I was trying to tell Bill about it. I'll give you a call later. I love you.
I'm taking a nap.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Kreischer. Wait,
Hey, Bill.
25-year-old McCallum's 25 is.
Look it up. It's
All right,
it's
I'm looking it up.
25-year-old Macallan. It was sent. My dad looked up the price and was like, "Buddy, this is fucking expensive whiskey." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And I want to have a drink with him.
Oh, $2,400.
Yeah, right?
I would not have won the Showcase Showdown. I would have been like, it's about $800.
But you kept saying, you say it, I know it now, but like, there's no better I never understood it. You kept saying it to me and I was like, I don't get it. The hangovers aren't bad for me, but there's nothing better than getting up early and having a cup of coffee and feeling great and feeling like, all
And
right.
how about this? And no apologies needed.
Yeah. Dude.
You know, and it's fun to kind of stand around while people drink and you just watch them roofie themselves, and and then you can feel the energy change. That point where it's just okay, and everybody's fucked up. Now I'm gonna leave. Leave, and I am not gonna miss anything. I'll hear the stories tomorrow, and I won't have anything to apologize for.
Please be safe, okay? Social distance. Stay on your bike. No getting off your bike. Stay apart, okay? So, hey, come here, Georgia. Can you just tell Bill what a great job parenting I did last night? Be honest. How good was my parenting last night?
It was really good.
Yeah.
You did a really good job.
I believe it.
She looks like a
Good for
hostage.
you. I don't know what
Tell
you
him I'm
did,
not
but-
hurting you. Tell him I'm not hurting you.
He's not hurting me right now.
I killed it, right? I killed it last night.
Yeah.
All right.
did.
All right.
You did a lot better, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah, where I did a lot better. I'm growing, Bill.
The only bad thing was
Well, that's not the bad thing. Let's just
no,
leave.
the only bad thing is that you asked for recognition of it like
Bill,
5 times.
I asked for recognition because I go, hold on, I just did a good job. Like, you got to stop. I did a bad job before.
Listen.
I did a bad job before. I went to therapy, and now I'm doing a good job. I need everyone to go, holy shit, man, that's called growth.
Yeah, and we did that, and then you were like, no, guys, I need more. And we did it 5 more times, and then at dinner you asked for it again. And we were like, okay, maybe this isn't growth if you're asking for it
Just
5
go,
times.
just go. Just go. I love you. Please be safe.
Listen, we don't do stand-up because we like ourselves.
Oh, I got another story about her. All right, leave.
Hey.
Leave. I love you.
Love you. Come on, Lucky.
Dude, when a woman loves you, you can tell.
Dude.
Because it is so hard for them to give you a compliment. Just watch. He did a good job right now or something. There's always those little clarifications. What? I said you did a good job.
Yeah. Bill, I mean, you want to talk about like, it's like, you know what this is? It's like if I show up at spring break and I've been working out for like 3 months and everyone stops and's like, yo man, you look good. But then what I felt is what happened is I showed up looking good and everyone just was like, so are we going to the beach? And I went, hold on a second. I was a bad parent. I was not parenting well. I was attacking people. I was being toxic. I just couldn't help it. I was so
I
angry.
love the time of that wave. I was attacking people. Bye, sweetheart.
Yeah. And so she said last night, she goes, she said, hey, can I go to my friend's house? And normally I would just be like, no. The answer is fucking no. Like, we are in a lockdown. You are not allowed out of the house. We are staying in the house. But I stopped, and Leanne goes, no. And then Georgia kind of snapped back, kind of shitty to Leanne. She was like, oh, but you can go to the tile store, and you can go to the new house, and you can hang out with them, but I can't go be with my friend. Bill, I went like this. I took a breath. I walked in. I said, very calmly, I said, what you're saying is fair. I understand that you see me going to maybe do a podcast or mom going to the tile store. I understand you see all that and you're wondering, why can't I just go to my friend's house? I'm going to explain why. I'm going to tell you why. And I went through and I did everything. And I said, here's the deal. I'm a really smart guy and I can find a workaround for you. I want you to be with your friends. You're 16. I don't want you to be living in this house but nonstop. I'll find a workaround that that right now is they're going to go ride bikes. I said, you can only ride bikes. You can't get off your bikes. You can't go sit somewhere. When you're done, you come home, go ride bikes, talk shit, have fun, stay distant. But that's the deal. You have to have masks on. I'm fine with that. But and then I got done. No one got upset. No one cried. No one slammed their doors. And they were like, okay, cool. And I went, hold on. Is no one going to say anything? And they were like, what? I go, we're not yelling right now. And they're like, yeah, I know. I was like, no, but that's because of me. Like, I did some work. Like, I noticed I was being bad. I went to therapy. I fixed
you
it.
had him.
I had him. And Bill,
what you have to do, dude, they're like cats. If you want them to come, you walk away.
Oh, I was so fucked. And then I wouldn't
We're
let it
the
go.
dogs. Guys are dogs. I need the approval. Pat me on the head. I did a good job. Good job there, Fido. Yeah,
Bill,
you just got to. No, I'm telling you. I talk about this in my act. Silence is unsettling to women.
Yeah, well.
You make a change, and then afterwards you're just cool, calm, and collective. They're looking at what is going on between those ears. They like you talking. That. Then they know you're reading from your playbook. They know what's going on. You get quiet, it starts fucking with them, because now they start thinking like, I don't know. It's so stupid that you literally have to play a game to get a compliment, but it's like, it's just like. I don't know. It's exhausting, and they're way better at it, and they have way better stamina. So you're going to lose.
I've been doing a misogynist character in my house, like as a joke.
Your entire career, yeah. It's called your act.
It's so comfortable to me that I enjoy it so much that I don't think it's an act. I think I'm just doing it for real. I'm just saying what I think.
I would be lying if I don't do the same thing. I see my wife, and I'll be like, in the kitchen where you belong. I love seeing that. Come here. She's got a great son. We had some big, stupid fight. Like, and once again, because we weren't communicating, right?
Yeah.
Right before we went to bed. One of those go to bed, don't even talk to each other. And then you're just rewinding the whole relationship to that second date, going, why did I show up, right?
Yeah.
But then you always think, well, I love her and I got the kids. But when you're stubborn and you're mad, that's what I go back to. So the next morning we woke up, and I don't say anything to her. She doesn't say anything to me. And then she's brushing her teeth, and I'm brushing my teeth. And she's a bigger person, so she finally just goes, good morning. I go, good morning. And then I looked at her, and we both laughed, and that was it. And I was like, well, that's how we stay together.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the stupid fight was about. But I was laying there afterwards going like, well, that goes back to coming from a, not being able to express myself. Sit down, shut the fuck up, that thing. Yeah, sit there and eat it. I don't give a shit. Because I said so. Like, that was basically end of discussion, So then I approach any no to me is I'm going to be up against that. Rather than being like that there's negotiation or it's just, okay, when you say that, if blah, 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 it's whatever.
Oh,
but you said you were like all hot to trot when we started this podcast.
It's about this. It's about me parenting because I know you're like me. I know you're like me. I don't actually have to ask, but like when they say our city's locked down, I take that pretty serious. I go, hey man, you just put a rule in place. I'm going to follow your rule. I'm going to follow your rule the best I can. I'm not going to friends' house. I'm not going to go do dinner over people's houses. I'm going to stay in. Me and my family are going to stay in. I'm going to do the necessities. Like, if one of us has to go get we order all our groceries. But if so, like Leanne said, I need chicken thighs, and they're not selling chicken thighs with skin on them online. Can you go to Gelson's? I do that. I'll go to Gelson's. I understand that. I go to get my medication. There's certain rules in place. And to explain them to a child, but her also seeing you go out and do certain things. Like, Leanne's like, if I don't go look at tiles, then the house we're building shuts down, and then we are paying money on something that, like, there's certain things that need to happen, and explaining it to a child is so fucking impossible.
Don't call her a child, dude. At this point, she's a young adult.
She is a young adult. I asked her if she wanted to go to boarding school last night. Like, meaning, like, not being a dick. Being like, hey, this sucks, and we may be in this for a little longer. Would you like to do next semester at boarding school and hang out with people and be able to live a life and, like, not have to live with your parents?
The vaccine's coming out next month.
I know, but I don't think shit's gonna change for a while, Bill. I don't think anyone's gonna take the fucking vaccine.
Yeah, they are. I am.
I am. My fucking daughters don't want it. And then you go, well, so what do I do? Slip it in their drink? Like, well, how do I get everyone back?
Cereal.
The cereal.
Put in a cereal.
Dude, do we have a cereal sponsor on here?
No.
Oh my god, someone sent me some fucking cereal that's through the roof and I'm dying to talk about. And I know it's a sponsor because it's a protein cereal. And I don't know, it's not on my Bertcast. I don't know where I got it.
We tried to get it. Yeah, we tried to get it.
Hit them up, man. They sent it to my house and I fucking love it.
What is it?
I forget the name of it right now. Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon. And Bill, it's all protein, no sugar. It tastes like fucking cereal. It's cereal. It is cereal. But the blueberry one, I'm addicted to it. We talked about it last week. I was like, I just had a bowl of cereal.
That's the most I ever heard somebody say the word cereal in 3 seconds.
Oh.
It looks like cereal. It tastes like cereal. It's cereal.
It's cereal. Man.
My thing lately has been salads. Oh, God, what has happened to us? We're talking about not drinking, becoming better people. I figured the trick to salads. The reason why I don't eat them is it's a pain in the ass to make them. So what you got to do is when you get it, you got to cut up all the heads of lettuce, parsley, whatever you're going to put in there, whatever greens you got left over. Cut all of that up, rinse it, and then wash it, and then it's just available. And then have your sides cut up, just like one of those fast food joints. Your beets or whatever the fuck. And like I came home at like 1:20 for this 1:30 start. And like I had that thing made by 1:25 and shoved it in my pie hole by 1:29 and I was ready to go.
Wow.
Fills me up, brother.
Can I tell you, I can only do spinach. For whatever reason, spinach and
salads are tough, dude.
There's certain salads I'm not into. Like I can't get into, Leanne will get like kale salads and I'm like, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of, like I don't mind kale in a smoothie, but
and then sometimes what they do to it so it tastes good, you might as well be eating a bag of chips.
I like a nice piece of salmon on cooked medium rare. Well, it's still kind of raw inside.
Do you go man-made or wild salmon?
Wild salmon. I get shout out to my buddy Leeway at The Joint. There's this place, The Joint, Bill, on Ventura. This guy Leeway dry ages all his fish. He's dry aged fish guy on Instagram. He dry ages all his fish, so there's less water inside it, so it lasts longer. So you buy a big chunk of salmon for him, it'll last for the whole week and a half, and you can just cut it up in little slices as you go, cool. Work your way through it. I do a lemon, mustard, vinaigrette garlic that is through the roof. I cook the salmon in there in my small like toaster oven. In my toaster oven at 400 for 14 minutes. That's still pink on the inside, right? Still like rare on the inside. I put it on top of a bed of over it. That's how I've been eating healthy. I love that, dude. I love
salmon.
Really?
I like the man-made salmon because I've read that our oceans are so goddamn polluted. And all the shit we've thrown in, the plastics, they break down to little balls and the fish inhale them. So you're literally eating the fish.
Dude, have you seen the oceans over in Sierra Leone?
Dude, we gotta go, dude. The thing about it is human beings, how we're living, it's just it's like that person that gets diagnosed with cancer and they keep smoking.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We just keep pushing it. And, Mother Nature's been nice so far. She's given us a couple of jabs here or there, but I feel eventually it's going to be something. So I'm trying to, I don't know. I just don't look at it. You can tell I don't buy clothes anymore. I'm like, I'm just going to wear this shit till it falls off. Great that you get away with Just a black button down, man. You can wear a black button down in front of your friends 4 days in a row before they finally go, you wearing the same shirt every day? There's something about it. Nobody notices. You get into like some wild color, they're gonna call you out on it.
Carhartt makes a great black hoodie that is rainproof, meaning like water will run off it, which also means food's gonna run off of it. And I've been wearing the fuck out of that.
Yeah, dude. I hope. I was watching this guy who's just like totally eats like plant-based and all of that shit, which I just like steak too much and stuff like that. I could never do that, but I'm thinking, well, if I go 2/3 of the day not doing it, because what it really is there's so many people eating steak and shit. You got all these, I guess, cows farting or steer farting. It actually is bad for the atmosphere. But I got to tell you something, man. Those Impossible Burgers and shit, they're not right.
It can't be.
I don't like that shit where it's just like, this isn't what it's pretending to be, but tastes just as good. I always think, like, there's no fucking way to do that without you putting, there's some sort of voodoo in that thing that's just going to take me out.
It's like one of those robot fuck dolls. You're like, you can only fuck it so much before you start breaking inside. Where you're like, I'm doing shit
dude,
that you're not supposed
I'm
to do.
going to tell you right now, I think the internet with free porn, I bet that has created or unleashed more like sexually fucked up / offender people just because they can indulge in this shit. And then I think that those robot dolls, dude, like I can't fucking imagine if you stick a human being and they're locked away with one of those things and that thing isn't going to rat them out and they can do whatever the fuck they want. There's no, and how twisted fucking people are and guys are. You like, what's going to be walking out of that room a year later? You got a better chance of that fucking robot not fucking twisting your head around.
We were watching in college. We were watching Real Sex on HBO, and they showed it. It was the first time we ever saw like a real robot fuck toy, like it was as a woman, and it would like, and this guy had one. And he had a outdoor screened-in porch, and it was sitting on his outdoor screened-in porch, and he was having a cocktail, and it had a cocktail in front of it, and we were all like this, like what the fuck. And one of my buddies was on the corner of the couch smoking a cigarette, and he just very like under to himself, but a little loud so we could hear. He just goes, "Do you know how weird you could get with that thing?" And we just fell apart laughing. Like, where's your head? Like going like
the same place you like. He might already be there before he goes in the room, but you or I would end up there.
Yeah.
After a year, dude, it's just like anything. You're just starting at different. I swear to God, dude, if I had a robot sex doll at my age, all I would want it to do is while I lay on the couch watching TV, it just rubs my head telling me everything's going to be okay. That's all I would do with it. Give me a back rub and just be like, I really appreciate you.
You think about those kids, though, all the sex they've seen professionals do it. When I was a kid, I still remember the first time I did doggy style and was like, whoa, like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like,
I have a vivid and I was thinking about that today for whatever reason. I remember where I was. I remember exactly where I was the first time that happened. I remember the coffee table, Bert.
You were on the coffee table?
He had her hands on the coffee table.
Oh my God.
I remember that. And dude, I'm telling you, dude, there's teenage kids who like they've never even had sex with a human being yet, and have had so much sex that when a woman or whoever they're into touches them, their body doesn't respond, meaning they can't get it up because they've gone to that level. Dude, I stopped watching porn in. I had one slip back again the other day, and I said, "Don't do it," and I didn't. And I feel like I don't want to be a part of that. I wasn't doing anything. I was just watching it, and I was watching the game within the game. I started thinking how they could make it better, And just like,
Oh,
why
yeah.
is the production value so? Why is the acting so bad? I started thinking, like, why would somebody who's like watching a, like after a while you watch so much stand-up, you stop laughing, and you're up there going like, oh, that joke worked because he did this.
Yeah.
Oh, he could build on that, or she could do this, and you're not even laughing, and then you get off, oh, dude, hilarious. That was hilarious. You get like you're like a jaded comic, but with like porn.
Oh, have you ever seen a girl in porn and you're like, wait, why is she doing this? Like, she could just fall in love with a rich guy. Like, you're too pretty for that. Like, I get some girls in porn where I go, yeah, I get it. I can see the broken part of you that I get some of them. And then you see some where you're like I would have dated you. Like, I would have married you. Like, what? Like, how? Why you? There's this girl. Her name's something Peach. What's her name? Something Peach. Is it Peach? Nina Peach, porn star. By the way, watch this. I'm gonna say voice into Google what it is, and I bet she comes up. Porn star, massage table Peach. Rita Peach. Her name's Rita Peach.
Is she an Allman Brothers fan?
She is fucking awesome, dude. She is so fucking hot. And all I can think is, what skill sets doesn't she have that put her in that situation? Like, in my head, I go, she can't speak English. There's no way she speaks English. Like, it's impossible for her to speak English. She got great teeth, perfect body, beautiful smile. She looks like fucking what's Anne Hathaway? She's a gorgeous woman, Rita Peach. But for whatever reason, she ended up in porn. And I'm not. Look, maybe that's her choice. I don't think it's her choice. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. But I just go, how did she end up there? Like, she could have been a nurse, like the hottest nurse, and a doctor would fall in love with her, and then like,
You know how funny it is? Picturing you sitting there with your dick in your hand and then watching this woman come across and you'd be like, no, you didn't need to end up here.
She's fucking dudes that don't even like she could have gotten better. Like, it's Rita Peach is so. Do you see a picture of her?
Oh, I didn't look it up.
Look at her. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's wholesome. She's gorgeous. And by the way, she can fuck. Like, maybe her talent is like, she really brings it. I mean, her hand jobs are shit I fantasize. She does this like, and I'm just like, why? I want to send those videos to my wife and go, hey, just, watch a game tape. Notice that she didn't punt.
All right, everybody. It's Bespoke. 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 The curators at Bespoke Post have done it again this winter with an all-new lineup of essential box of awesome collections for guys, guaranteed to upgrade your life. Dude, they got all kinds of great shit. Bert, you got like an axe or something, didn't you?
I got a badass knife coming my way. Blue handle. I'm telling you, man. I got lost on that site, and I couldn't stop going through the stuff.
It is. You can indulge in your adult teenager, like all the cool shit you ever wanted. Whether it's to showcase pieces to level up your indoor hosting skills or cozy threads for those blustery days, Bespoke Post only sends guys the best stuff every month. No matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From style and grooming goods to barware. If you're setting up your own little bar in the corner, which I've been wanting to do forever. Cooking tools, outdoor gear. Box of Awesome has collections for every part of your life. I got earbuds. I'm boring. You got to fucking.
I couldn't. You know what? I got lost on that site, and I ended up going with the knife. But man, there was something on there that I wanted so bad. It was like a winter look with a sweater and a satchel. That I was like, I think that's too much of me trying to change.
I saw that. I would have supported you if you wore it. Anyways, to get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right box of awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box costs only $45, but it has over $70 worth of gear inside. That's great. So keep $45 for you and then re-gift $35 and you're done Christmas shopping. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code BillBurt, B-E-R-T, at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code BillBurt for 20% off your first box. This is how awesome they are. They made the copy nice and tight, short. That was part of their awesome.
That was really great. All right. Listen up, fellas. 2020 sucked. It's a new year's new balls with our sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in Manscaped. That you talk shit about real Kenny, I forget it totally, right? I get a DM from him on Instagram or on Twitter, and all it says is, I'm 6'3". And I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't know you'd hear that.
Well, there you go.
There you go. There you have it.
Hey, I haven't heard that Tom Cruise rant yet, but I'm going to say he was 100% in the right.
That's it. That's interesting.
Every time I see that Christian Bale rant, he was 100% in the right.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to sit here and drop fucking 60 pounds or put on 40 pounds, and I'm going to bring it this hard, and I'm doing this fucking scene, and that guy just disappears into the character, and I got to deal with some jerk-off walking around in the background. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then as far as this shit, like, they're so strict on these shoots, and they give you the answer to the test. Just do what the fuck they tell you. This thing won't get shut down. All you guys are going to work, and we're going to get through this thing. And, like, the fact, I just hate, and the fucking worm that put that out. You want to talk about, like, breaking the rules of like this whole bullshit now on social media where you want to be the one that like leaks stuff out and everything so you can get more friends is really I don't know. I like that I grew up when I grew up where it was just like, hey man, that stays in the locker room. We solve this amongst ourselves. That goes to that shit I was talking about on Rogan where comics trashing other comics on like social media. I mean, maybe I've been guilty because I made fun of somebody who did it.
I've been guilty.
The ridiculousness of what they were doing, and then all it caused was other comics to defend that person, then come in on me, and then I just tapped out, going like, I didn't want to do this. I was just trying to show how ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Like, and just if someone's got some sort of mini scandal going on, and you use it as an opportunity to go after their like. I love how at first it starts about the issue, and then quickly devolves into the person's act and stuff, and it's just like, oh, so is it about the issue or your bitterness about where you are in this business, and this person was getting more spots than you, and you didn't think that was fair?
I've seen people shit on. I saw one time. I won't name names, but I saw one time a female comedian shit on a male comedian, and it started to go viral. And then she responded to her own tweet so that it came up next. I didn't know this was going to go this big. If you guys could check out my special on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it. And give me a follow. And I'm like, ooh, that's a bad look. But here's the deal.
The whole thing is, did you see that Smokey Robinson thing?
No.
Smokey Robinson, like, you can do this thing now where you pay a famous legend like him to wish you Merry Christmas or whatever. So he's doing it, right? Because I'm sure, like all of us, he was probably doing the fucking road, and his year went away, so he needs the money. So he goes ahead and does it. I just realized I have this fucking mic all the way over here now. So he goes ahead and he does this. Shut the thing off. God damn it, Bill. It's on. All right. And he goes, this is what he said. He goes, whatever. Message for Bert. So-and-so wants you to wish you a happy Chinooka. Whatever that is. And he just kept doing it, whatever. He didn't know what the fuck it was, right? The guy's like 80 years old. And then this person, it was a private video, posts it. It was just a classic no good deed goes unpunished. And I love that somebody on Twitter wrote, this is kind of shitty. Okay, he fucked it up, but like he still did it. And now you're going to try to make the guy look like an asshole. I actually like the comment. It's like somebody at least kind of gets it.
Happy Chinooka.
Happy Chinooka. And he's like, I don't know what that is, but happy. And he was still being nice, and he didn't know what Chinooka was, but he was still being a good guy. Can't that just be enough? It's got to be like, OMG, Did Smokey Robinson really just do this? By the way, guys, here's my Instagram page, and blah, 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 blah. It just becomes that every fucking time.
Chinooka, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, happy Chinooka.
So funny. I can picture it in his Smokey Robinson voice. Hey, everybody. Smokey Robinson here. Happy Chinooka, whatever
I
the fuck
shouldn't have
that
brought
is.
it up. You're missing the point here. The point is he was nice enough to do it. He mispronounced it. Dude, how much shit do I mispronounce on this? Give the guy a break.
Oh, so that's so good. I love Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson's fucking amazing.
His Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is my favorite. Hey, Rudolph! Like it's in a bad neighborhood.
That Cameo app, man. The guy.
The best guy ever. Fucking guy who goes all out like he does when he's on stage. If you want a happy birthday, is Sebastian Bach.
I thought you were gonna say Maniscalco. I was like, shut the fuck up.
No, Sebastian Bach is like I think I favorited every one of his birthday wishes.
Really?
He doesn't just say, "Hey man, I'm a famous rock star. Happy birthday." Blah blah blah. He makes like 20-minute videos. He's showing you his house.
Great.
He's talking about albums and like, yeah, it's one of my favorite things on Instagram is Sebastian Bach wishing somebody happy birthday. How much he gives a shit.
God.
He did
And
one
then
that
there's
went
the other
viral.
one.
He did one
Huh?
that went viral where he was somebody's dad, and he did this whole thing about how terrible it is, like when he has whatever, and it was like you said, 15, 20 minutes of the most touching, like couldn't have been better written thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just a solid dude. Dude, I saw them on their first tour on New Year's Eve in the Boston Garden, December 31st, 1989, I believe. It had to have been because I had been arrested for drinking and driving because my buddy had to drive me to the show.
His cameos are $500.
They should be.
They're $500.
It's like $10 a minute. He does like an hour.
Bank. I was gonna get you one for Christmas.
Oh yeah, you ain't spending $500.
I'm not the Bach.
You should do it. I'd spend $500. I'm gonna do it for you.
I'm getting you Sebastian Bach for Christmas. This is Cameo's not a bad act. Listen, when he got,
I saw him December 31st, 1989 in the Boston Garden, open the absolute.
this is gonna be
Dude,
awesome.
I'll tell you right now, that guy, when he sings, business.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've talked about this before on this podcast. That's one of the hardest I've ever seen anybody rip on a TV show ever.
I got high with Sebastian Bach. Once again, I just said I'm not gonna fucking say that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, God damn it! Although it's a good story.
Yeah, you walk amongst the people. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but at some point, man, you gotta understand. You got kids and shit, and there's fucking weirdos out there. There's fucking weirdos.
Yeah, there are weirdos.
Most people are cool. You know, most people are cool. All right, let's get back. All right, just cut that out. Jesus, Bert. Jesus, Bert. Well, then I gotta ask now. Well, no, I'm not gonna ask.
Wait, ask.
No, I'm not gonna ask.
I didn't fuck her. I never called her. I'm that guy that like, I think the story is better than the actual doing it sometimes. Like that whole story I just told you, for me, that's it. I'm good. I'm done. I don't need to like
You like the last episode of The Sopranos?
Yeah. Actually, I never saw The Sopranos, but
I actually liked it.
Really?
I didn't like the fact that, you know, after saying all those names that nothing happened. Anyway.
Well, when are we gonna have a cigar?
You watched that Monday Night Football game? Browns and Ravens?
Dude, can I tell you, I feel like Johnny Manziel should have, not Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, I feel like he should have gotten a win also. You know what I mean?
I felt at some point that they should have addressed how horrific the defense was in the final 3 minutes of the game, or addressed the fact that they have so changed the rules to tip it in favor of. Like, I was talking on my podcast how, like, back in the day, Joe Montana just had to be Joe Montana. At the end of the game, 2 minutes left, he'd drive down, inevitably score a touchdown, or Elway would do it, Marino, or whatever. And then the defense would come out, maybe give up a first down, and then the team would have to punt it away. Then the back just came out, took a knee 3 times, and the game was over.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like watching people play in a fucking video game. I mean, with the score, when Baker Mayfield takes it down the field to tie it up, okay? And then Lamar Jackson starts driving his team. Dude, what are you shaking your head about? Dude, 2 Cleveland Brown corners bumped into each other like they were in the Keystone Cops, and they let the receiver get behind them. That's what the fucking story is of that play. It's not Lamar Jackson takes him down the field. It's just like, what the fuck was that? That's the end
but Lamar Jackson
with the Raiders Jets. Like,
but the Lamar Jackson really is fun to watch. He really is fun. Like I like, you know, I love a game like that because I don't really have a team that I'm rooting for, but I love Baker Mayfield and I love Lamar Jackson.
Was I just speaking a different language? At what point did I say Lamar Jackson wasn't great or wasn't a fun?
Okay.
I'm talking about when it's tied with under 2 minutes left, and somehow a receiver is down the field 10 yards, 15 yards away from any other person on the other fucking team. The story there is not the quarterback.
It's not. All he had to do was throw the bread.
Somebody needs to get fired or cut. That is the worst fucking. But they are just so into just selling the offense that it's just like, dude, that was like watching a game of tennis. It was just up and down the fucking field, like
really
hockey
was.
Without the red line now. Because hockey's
3 scores in 2 minutes.
It was insane. And the only reason why Baker Mayfield didn't just drive right down the fucking field, he didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
Like, no NFL game is over now until there's like, maybe I would say, like in the team, like 11 seconds left. But if you have like 24 seconds left, somehow there's going to be a 40-yard fucking pass and then a quick out for another 15 yards, and they're going to kick a field goal. So, I don't know. I like the whole game. I'm not just like, just score a zillion points. Like, that type of football is for the casual fan. That's how I watch soccer. To me, a good game of soccer is 5-4.
I was going to say 6-8.
Yeah. Yeah, 8-6. Yeah, that'll get an American watching that fucking like me to watch that game because I'm not into the sport. If I watched it a lot, I could totally get into a 1-0 game. But when that's how you know you're not really understanding the game is when you get excited watching like no fucking defense. Like I was just sitting there going like, that's also why I don't gamble, man. I do a little bit, but like I just can't imagine losing that game, like if you're
well, the spread, the spread was 3.5.
Okay,
it was 3.
If you had the fucking Ravens, and every time you thought Lamar won it, and then Baker Mayfield came back, like how much you would age, and then in the end when they were going for the field goal, you're now rooting for them to miss it because you're going to lose your bet, and then somewhere along the line you actually start personally hating either the coach of the Ravens or Lamar Jackson. Like I watch my friends go through that who really got into gambling, like would like literally, hate certain players because they fucked them on a bet.
But wait, hold on. Wasn't that game, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, but the spread was 3 and that safety pushed them over. That safety at the end.
Did that safety count?
Yes, it definitely counted. And so that fucked the spread. You won the game. You're like, good, we're done. They're not going to make it. We're good. Then they do that old fucking flea flicker, and you're watching it move backwards going like, oh, fuck no. Oh, please, fuck no. Are you fucking kidding me? Just take a fucking knee. And then Safety in the end zone, bro. That would set. I literally first thing I tweeted was, "Please tell me the spread wasn't fucking 3."
Oh yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, anytime there's that stupid fucking that play at the end of the game where they have the punter run out the back of the end zone, dude, it's just like, the NFL claims that they're against domestic violence, but they let those punters do that. It's just like I just it's funny, you only hear about the person who loses that bet. I want to see the video of the person who's sitting there going like, oh my God, I just lost my week's pay, and then the punter runs out of the back of the end zone. I like seeing people win, dude. I don't like seeing the losing there. So anyway, are you done on the road for the year?
I'm done until June.
Yeah, I'm done for the foreseeable future.
I can't do any outdoor shows. It's too cold. 'Cause I'm fucking shirtless.
Something? I did I did that 8-day tour outside, just in Texas. Texas gets cold, but it doesn't get like cold. And just like being out in the elements like that, man, I was just sitting there going like, if this was an outdoor game, this stand-up shit, I would be writing for another comic at my age at this point.
Oh yeah.
Or I would have gone out there with the giant snowsuit on.
I figure I give myself. It bums me out because I've been writing material because my brain's still in stand-up because I just got off the road, but I figure I can be pretty healthy. I'm gonna try to go 6 months without not getting drunk, like getting fucking wasted. Like I'll have a drink. I want to try that whiskey.
You're gonna drink like an adult. That's amazing because there are so many great alcohols. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Alcohols? For some reason that didn't sound like the right word. So many great alcohols out there. Like incredible bottles of wine, that whiskey you were talking about.
What cigar are you going to have? When we do a socially distant cigar, what cigar are you going to have? Do you already have it planned out?
Somebody sent me this amazing box of Davidoffs of just like the whole smorgasbord of what they had. They have some great cigars.
Oh,
I might go down though because I have a lot of the La Auroras. The people in Austin hooked me up with a box of like a mix of the rubies, the emeralds, and the sapphires. But I still think I might go to my buddy in Hollywood and go get. He has some nice cigars. I'm not going to say the name of it because I want to be able to get over there and get one.
Can I tell you what I used the other day? And I don't think they're a sponsor today, but I used Thompson Cigar. I was buying cigars for my brother-in-law. Bro, they've got everything. They really do have everything. And I ended up buying like, I want to say like $500 worth of cigars. Like I was like, you just start adding them. You're like, fucking Olivas are great. Oh, there's an Oliva. The fucking.
Which Oliva do you? I'm not too familiar with those. I know one of them won Cigar of the Year. Which one do you like?
Series 5. I just Googled it. It's a great box. Oliva. I'll pull it up. Watch this. Oliva. Series 5 Melanio.
Okay. I
These
I'm
right
sort of
here.
A creature of habit. Okay.
They're really fucking great. I just bought my
I
brother-in-law.
like the Davidoffs. I like the La Auroras. I like the Nubs.
I'll tell you what I bought. I bought a box of Padron 7000s, which is on Thompson Cigars. I wish they were sponsored for this because this would be so organic. But I bought a box of them, good price, and you can never find the 7000s. And I'm telling you, Bill, I'll give you one of those cigars and just have it. It's the easiest smoke, draws so easy, and it tastes phenomenal. It's my favorite cigar. That and Bobby Kelly turned me on to Tatuajes.
Oh yeah. I haven't tried one of those yet. Let me look those up here. I think I might have tried. Wait, let me see.
Thompson did not have Tatuaje.
See if they can read my gringos.
Oh no, they did have them. They didn't want. They didn't.
How do you spell Tatuaje?
Tatug.
Oh, I got it. Images. Okay, I've never tried those. You know what? Al Ducharme came over my house one day and he introduced me to, I forget the cigar. but he had a great one. He had a great one. So I said, come on over. I got cigars. And he showed up and brought his own. And,
I do that too.
And then waved off what I was giving him. I was like, oh, shit. I
Yeah.
asked for the fastball. He's like,
We were doing a read, I have a TV show coming out January 7th on TBS at 9 p.m. The Go Big Show, and we were doing a read, me and Snoop, and I thought it'd be funny to have a cigar in one hand and have a blunt in the other, right? So, and I was the whole joke is we were drinking, and I was like, he's like, you double fisting, and I was like, I am, and I pulled up the blunt, and I was like, this is what you gave me, and he was like, oh shit, and so I, as a joke, I fucking lit it. And I hit it on accident. Not even thinking, I just hit it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm high as fuck. And I was like, oh, I did not plan this out. Like it caught me off
what
guard.
hit you with that high? One of those
Dude.
instant highs?
It was one of Snoop's blunts. And I could feel it in my face. And then I had to have a cigar. I had to do a podcast with Peanut from 311. And I ended up having to have a cigar to like not to calm down, but just to be like, all right, we're good, we're fine, we can talk, we're normal. But man, I one hit, and I was trying to do a thing where I took the hit and then blew it into the camera, but instinctually I took the hit and inhaled it, like not thinking, oh, I don't need to inhale it, this is just a bit. And
Yeah,
and then I put it out. I put it out and I was like, I'll save this for later. This is a really good blunt.
Yeah. I can't smoke weed, dude. I just
Yeah.
feel after 3 times of doing it, I feel like my lungs can't have the same air capacity. So I occasionally have a gummy. I'm not into I mean, I do enough, a couple cigars a month. That's enough. I put the smoke.
I like that you're back on cigars. So what is it? How many do you have a month? Because I was quit as long as you were quit, pretty much. I quit for the whole pandemic, but I recently, it was my go-to in December to kind of tap out at the end of a day and go, I'm gonna enjoy a sunset. I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna do you know what is really nice? Listen to the Calm app and having a cigar and do the daily meditation where they go, all right, today we're gonna talk about lighthouses, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, no, I was doing great until June, and then it went off the rails. Then I got it back on the rails in July, went off the rails in August. I gave up in September and October. Then I did better in November, and then December's been good. Like, I haven't smoked a lot, but, like, I just get into these, like, I just need 4 days. 4 days of not doing something, then I got a streak going, then I'm fine. But, like, I mean, I got to do something.
Yeah.
So I smoked a couple this month. But, when I did that tour, I didn't do anything, in Texas, so I wasn't fucking with that. These guys don't play around out there, so I didn't do any of that. Didn't drink, didn't smoke. I smoked one cigar. Right before the last show, and I got you yawning. Before the last show.
So where are we gonna have a cigar? Your house?
That should be called The Shit I Used to Do.
Shit I used to do.
What's that? So when
Where
what?
are we gonna do a cigar? Can we do it on the roof of the Comedy Store?
I don't see why not.
Think they let us up there?
Well, yeah, that's right. It's not open. Well, like,
It would be nice to be up there, taking a look at it. And I'd be at a big fucking. Remember this?
I flew over it the other day. I was flying with a buddy of mine, and I just like cruising right down Sunset, looking at all the sick ass houses. There's a house over there where JFK, when you go past the Soho House, where JFK and Jackie Kennedy, they had their honeymoon. And it's also the house Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, I guess. I never seen that movie, but The Bodyguard.
I know that house.
Dude, that house is over there, man. It's fucking, there's like levels of like these, they're just the pools just to look at that then leads to the pool. It's insane. The house is fucking insane. There's a couple like that over there. There's one out by the Eagle Rock that I look at that has a pool in the front yard and the backyard. I just look at like that type of stuff, but I was coming right down it, and they've so built up that area because it used to just be the Rock and Roll Hyatt and then the House of Blues, so you could see the Comedy Store. Now it's like nestled in there because that thing that they built across the street, so you almost got to be over it to see it now.
Yeah.
And yeah, flew right down there, went up the PCH up to Malibu. There was a little fire on the 405. Saw that, yeah, saw the helicopter going around. We just stayed south of them, went up, and then came back, man. Just had a great time. Great time.
God. We almost bought a house. When we were looking at houses a while ago, there was a house that had 3 acres, but it was on a hill, right? So it was not a ton of land where the house was, but there was a house. It was an okay backyard, but it was up on a hill. And they said, just so you know, you can build on that. You can dig into the mountain and build on that. And they had plans for building like a pool, like all this stuff on the mountain. And with all the money in the world, meaning like money's no object, I thought that would be the coolest fucking house to be able to have have a workout room. I was like, turn that regular house into like a workout room. Build your house on top of the mountain, then have a pool on the next level, and then have a tennis court or something. You know, like I go just layer it out, and so you're walking down, and it would have been astronomically.
You gotta pay for all of that. You gotta buy all that. You're gonna sentence yourself to a life on the road. I'm working to not work. I keep I'm fighting all of this dumb shit. That when you start doing well, and then you just start buying all of this other shit, and then you gotta I'm kind of trying to do a minimalist thing after I kind of followed the herd, and I have a zillion hoodie sweatshirts. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with all of these? And then they're like, whenever you do like an acting gig, they give you one, and then it becomes sentimental, and you're like, fuck. So I don't know. I think dude, I'm telling you, man, live a simple life. Simple life. One of your dumb friends is going to go fucking buy one with the pool and the tennis court. All you got to do is show up with a pair of shorts and a racket and a 12-pack, and you're all good. And then he can fucking deal with, now he has the tennis court guy. The fucking tennis court guy. He's supposed to come here Tuesday. The fucking net is sagging. And that becomes your life. Dude, there's people, they buy a house so big, they have a manager for their house.
Whoa.
He just handles... I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about somebody who collected so many comic books or something. There was a guy whose job was to manage this person's collection of comic books. That was their job, and it's just I was having shortness of breath dealing with that level of infrastructure for something so fucking stupid.
Wow.
You just sentenced yourself, and now you got to get this guy a Christmas card. Do I send him a fucking family Christmas card do I give him $50, $100? What do I give him at the end of the fucking? It's just another thing you got to deal with. The holidays, a time to decompress and be with your families. You're sitting there going, okay, I got the tennis court guy. I got the guy who manages my fucking bobblehead collection. I got the guy who just starts up all of my cars so they're charged. Fuck that. Lean and mean, brother.
Lean and mean. You know what I did? I planned a big trip January 1st. Real expensive trip. And then I just decided not to do it. I feel like I saved a ton of money. I felt it was really nice. I said to Leanna, so we could do this. She went, I think it's bad. We're in a quarantine. Let's just stay home. And I was like, deal. I was like, wow, I just saved 10 grand. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh. Guys, we're staying home. We're going to watch Tenet tonight.
Dude, what's better than being home?
Nothing. Nothing's better than being home, Bill. Nothing is better than being home.
There's no last call. You're with the people you love. You can hit pause on the movie. You can walk around in your underwear. What's better than home?
Nothing is better than
Where
home.
you going? Where the fuck you going?
All right, we should.
You know, I went on vacation when I had an apartment.
Yeah, when you have an apartment, a vacation's fucking nice.
Fucking amazing.
Because you're going to a nicer apartment than yours.
Yeah, you're just going to a nice fucking hotel and you want to get away from it was New York, the grind and shit. Yeah, and all I wanted was quiet. That's all I was trying to go to. Half the time, one of my favorite vacations was I would just go home to my parents' house. Oh. I would just go back to my hometown in the trees and just hanging out in the quiet and hitting my old food spots. Place where they used to take us to get ice cream, or the pizza parlor I would go to. I'd always gain weight or whatever because I'd be eating the old steak and cheese and shit like when I was a kid. But like I enjoyed one of the best vacations I ever had. I went to a lake in New Hampshire with Nia early on.
Really?
And it was yeah. We went all out and we got the captain's lodge, which was basically just a giant 1-bedroom apartment. It overlooked this lake, and it was all it was just and it was fucking regular people. Nobody here is gonna go like, oh, let's go to the Caribbean. It was just like, no, we don't have money like that. We're gonna go to this lake. I didn't have money like that. We went there. We got fucking, got drunk every night, hung out, swam in the lake. I love swimming in a lake. No sharks.
Oh. A lake in the north. A lake in the north's good. Fucking Florida lakes suck.
Oh yeah, reptiles. Fuck that. Fuck reptiles. Fuck reptiles, dude. You got a pay-per-view of reptiles. You got pythons battling it out with alligator, top-level predators, and I'm gonna walk out there looking like a fucking chicken that got plucked. I ain't fucking doing that. So I that's the thing. Underrated. I used to do this in my podcast. Overrated, underrated. A lake vacation.
Ooh.
Underrated. You might run into some meth. I'm not gonna lie here. Depends on where you go, but I really feel like people in like New Hampshire, Maine, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They got that's God's country, man. You got hunting, fishing. You got the trees. You got the greenery. You got this great and I like that there's a winter and all of that shit. So like summer's special. Like we got to enjoy this. Because we'll be freezing our balls off. And then when they're freezing their balls off, somebody's got a ski mobile or some shit. There's fun to be had,
God, now I want to go.
Upper Peninsula, Michigan. It's one of the best times I ever had.
Upper Peninsula?
Yeah, I used to do this gig up there. There was a college, and they used to have these every year when I would do it, the fraternities would have like the best snow fort competition. And one of the fraternities, it was like the smart kids, the mathletes, the engineers, and they would build like a 2-3 story fucking snow fort with like electricity and shit. It was fucking insane. And I go up there and do this gig. Began with an H. I want to say the town. It was one of the big ones. And I made the mistake the first time I did the gig. I flew into Detroit thinking Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I didn't realize it went all the way over Lake Michigan over to Wisconsin, and I should have landed in Milwaukee. And dude, I had to drive like a fucking lunatic. I had to drive like 80 miles an hour for like 9 hours or something to get up there. I got to find this gig.
Yeah, where is... I'm trying to find...
with an M.
Oh, no, Marquette's definitely Wisconsin. I think. Oh, I know where it is, Bill. I know where it is. Hold on. Mackinac City?
Might have been that.
Mackinac City is where we went.